What's good, YouTube? Off-Tendo here. The Nintendo E3 Direct has just come out, and so now's the perfect time to recap every new game announced coming to the Nintendo Switch. At EA's performance, they showed off FIFA 2020 to audiences, announcing that the game would be coming to the Nintendo Switch. This would be really awesome for the Nintendo Switch game, but unfortunately for this version, it's just FIFA 19 with an updated roster, which is obviously disappointing, especially for fans of the series looking to pick up the game on the Nintendo Switch platform. I think it's lazy, and I think that when so many companies are coming out and saying, we support the Switch, we love the Switch, they clearly don't. No one, you're going to notice a lot here that a lot of companies haven't put much onto the Switch, and they haven't shown the Switch a lot of support. And this moves directly on to Microsoft. Now, we can't expect Microsoft to announce much for the Switch, because they develop for their own console. They have the Xbox, and obviously they have Windows on PC. They had a lot of a big push with Game Pass coming to PC, and they've talked about the new console Scarlet a little bit. But one thing that they did announce, which has been confirmed to come to the Switch, is Minecraft Dungeons, which is a first-party Microsoft game, well, second-party kind of, because they bought Mojang, who have developed the game. It's made in the same vein as games like Diablo, and has been confirmed to be coming to the Nintendo Switch via the Nintendo Twitter, and has just been shown in the new Nintendo Direct. After Microsoft's Xbox conference at E3, we had Bethesda, and they announced that the mobile game Elder Scrolls Blades was going to be coming to the Switch in fall 2019. And despite showing off new projects like Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, they didn't reveal anything else coming to the Switch. This is obviously disappointing, but we can't expect everything. They did show new details for Doom Eternal's coming to the Switch still. They showed new details off for that, and obviously Wolfenstein's Youngblood's coming to Switch, but nothing new. They've not said that Elder Scrolls 6 is coming or anything exciting like that. And so after Bethesda's disappointing conference, we were all left hoping that something could help to salvage it, which Devolver Digital swooped in and decided they were going to help with. They announced a free update to the Messenger. He had a very unique presentation for their Direct. They called it a Devolver Direct, and it was you've got to watch it. They announced Carrion, a game which should be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Details are a bit scarce on that, but it appears to be a game where you play as a sort of disease and try and kill everything. It looks really fun and interesting, and it'll be something I look forward to hearing more from in the future. After Devolver's stunning showcase, we were treated to Ubisoft's presentation, a studio who previously, as you may know, developed Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle and implemented exclusive Star Fox content into Starlink Battle for Atlas. There was heavy speculation that we would see them utilising a different Nintendo intellectual property this year, with potentially a sequel to Mario Rabbids, or a new game entirely, maybe another crossover of IPs, hopefully including Rayman. But at the conference, Ubisoft disappointed many of these fans and just didn't deliver on this front. They announced Gods and Monsters for the Nintendo Switch, among other platforms, which appears very similar to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, more on that later, which can't be a bad thing, as well as potentially announcing Roller Champions, but there seems to be a lot of confusion of the current status of that game and what consoles it's releasing for. The studio also launched new Adventure Time content for Brawlhalla immediately in the presentation, a free-to-play game available on the Switch. They made Finn, Jake, and Princess Bubblegum all playable. I'm not sure what else, I've not really had a look at that yet. Brawlhalla's not really a game I'm interested in. After this presentation, we had Square Enix, who are currently most famously working on Final Fantasy VII Remake, as well as the new Avengers game. They announced a few cool things for the platform, more than every other third-party developer. They talked about The Last Remnant coming to the Switch, Final Fantasy The Crystal Chronicles, a remaster for the GameCube game, also coming to PlayStation 4 and smartphones. They announced Circuit Superstars, a miniature Forza-like game to be enjoyed in bursts, making it ideal for the handheld nature of the Switch, as well as Final Fantasy VIII being remastered, something which a lot of people have been excited for, because if Final Fantasy VIII's being remastered, Final Fantasy IX, a lot of people's favourite, could potentially be on the way. Square has shown a lot of support for the Switch, with games like Octopath Traveler, which is unfortunately being ported to the PC because it means that the Switch is losing one of its exclusives, but very business, what can you do? They've demonstrated Square Enix have really demonstrated passion for the ever-expanding juggernaut of a system that is the Nintendo Switch. And when our new Switch overlords come along, I'm sure they'll be treated very nicely. The big one for the Switch, obviously, was Nintendo's Direct. if you haven't seen the Direct yet, I completely recommend going and watching it now before you finish this video, because I am going to be spoiling everything that's come up. So let's begin. You've had your warning. Firstly, the first thing that happened in the Direct was that Nintendo revealed the first Smash fighter. They revealed the hero from Dragon Quest, who has alternate costumes for Erdrick and I believe just 2 other gear sets of characters. I think one of them was female. I've never played Dragon Quest, so I don't know. They might be characters. And at the end of the Direct, towards the end of the Direct, I should say, they had another Smash DLC reveal, which was a throwback to King K. Rool's reveal trailer, where they revealed the iconic Bear and the Bird Banjo-Kazooie coming to Smash Bros., which is really exciting, because Rare was bought by Microsoft and we stopped seeing Banjo-Kazooie games coming to Nintendo. Xbox, obviously, they butchered Banjo-Kazooie with nuts and bolts, and that was all she wrote, unfortunately. Let me know in the comments how the trailer made you feel, please, when they did that with Duck Hunt, because I know I was freaking out and skeptical as to what was going on. Nintendo showed new information for Luigi's Mansion 3, featuring a hotel instead of a mansion this time, and the return of a Scarescraper from Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon on the 3DS. They introduced Gooigi for co-op in-game, where Gooigi can do things that Luigi can't, like walk through bars and spikes and stuff like that, but can't touch water. Overall, I'm hugely satisfied with Luigi's Mansion 3. It's a game I'm absolutely going to pick up whenever it releases, because they've still not given a release date. However, a game that they have given a release date for is Animal Crossing New Horizons, a game which was previously promised to be launching in 2019, but has unfortunately been delayed till March 20th, 2020. The game's going to focus on island life and Tom Nook conning you out of as much money as he possibly can. Nintendo, of course, has got to do what they've got to do. They say they want to make the game as good as possible, and that's fine. There's plenty of other things coming out this year, and we'll get on to more of that in a minute. At the end of the Direct, Nintendo had one of the announcements that's probably going to break the internet that you've got to credit Arlo for, because he's talked about this, he's said that this is potentially happening, and he was right. Nintendo have revealed an exciting sequel to Breath of the Wild. We're using the same engine, and whilst little to no information is currently known, I just hope it features more dungeons, and I hope we find out more about these champions, as they were the most interesting characters in the game, but when we met them they were already dead, which is really sad. I hope that this is the case, because if not, Breath of the Wild released 3 years ago now? So it'd make you wonder how it's taken so long. If not, I'd imagine it'll be set in the same world. It'll be after we saw Ganon's dead head. It looked really interesting. There were many other announcements for the Switch as well, including Cadence of Hyrule, which is a spin-off of Crypt of the Necrodancer, launching on June 13th. The Witcher 3 Complete Edition's also coming to the platform, true to the rumours. We're getting the Trials of Mana collection, which we've been speculating on for ages. Deus Ex Machina's got more information. Astral Chain's had gameplay and a release date. A Dark Crystal game, if you're interested in that. It looks to be a strategy game. We finally got a release date for Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening Remastered, as well as new information on their dungeon system, where you can make your own dungeons in that game. No More Heroes 3's been confirmed, which is huge. Contra Rogue Core, and so many more have been announced for the Switch. They've briefly talked about Fire Emblem Three Houses and revealed the anticipated Spyro Reignited trilogy for the console, a game which has been on and off not coming to the system for ages. This is the first official confirmation we've seen for it. As well as a new Super Lucky's Tale. More information for the new Mario and Sonic at the 2020 Olympic Games, which I'm super excited for. New characters for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, including Electra, Ghost Rider, and Elsa Bloodstone, which I'm super excited for that game. I love Marvel. And they've announced DLC characters from Marvel Knights, X-Men, and Fantastic Four. They can't just do one person from the Fantastic Four. There has to be at least 2. So I don't know. Maybe it's Reed and Johnny Storm. I'd be happy with that. New X-Men, I don't know who they'd do. And I mean, maybe if Beast, we've not seen gameplay for, I don't think, but he's in there, so maybe they could just put moves together for him. They showed off briefly Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Dragon Quest Builders 2, as well as Dragon Quest XI's. Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch is getting a remaster for the Switch, a fantastic JRPG, which I originally played on PS3 when it came out, and I'm certainly going to be picking this up for the Switch. They also showed off Elder Scrolls Blade, which was already shown off previously. and they briefly told us about Pokemon Sword and Shield and Mario Maker 2, both of which are still coming out this year. The Direct lasted a little over 40 minutes, and yet Nintendo was absolutely blew everyone away with this E3, shattering all expectations and annihilating everything we saw last year. Like, last year was just Smash Bros. And Mario Party, so it wasn't hard to top. Zelda alone was more exciting than every other announcement except for Smash. There are still obviously a few questions about Nintendo after the conference, like, when's Luigi's Mansion 3 actually coming out? Because October seems like the most reasonable time, but that leaves them 4 months. This would have been the perfect time to reveal the release date for that, so I'm just a bit confused with that. Is there another Mario Maker 2 theme? There's a slot for one. It would make sense. I thought Mario Galaxy was coming. And where's Pikmin? Pikmin 4 is supposedly nearly done for years now, since Pikmin 3 came out. And there's been so many rumours saying that we're getting Pikmin 3 coming to the Switch. Comment below if you've enjoyed the roundup and if you enjoyed Nintendo's E3 presentation, and tell me if there's any games you want to specifically hear me talk about, any information you want me to dig up. I've been Oftendo, and please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and share the video with your friends if you haven't been keeping up with E3. I'll see you later.